Well, I'm concentrating on Libya. It's obviously getting into my system, the complete travesty, disaster that's unfolding there, the quantity of people being killed, injured, starved to death, tortured, mutilated, everything under the sun, with the UN mandate for a no-fly zone so that NATO can protect the civilians. All right, so there's no justice. What can we do? All of our institutions are useless. The UN is just one example, the epitome of that. They've all been infiltrated. They're all corrupted. There's no point in looking to them for help. There was a large Stop the War rally here last week on Saturday, just a few days ago. A few thousand people showed up, and a speaker was lamenting the innocents that have died in Afghanistan and reading out their names. That speaker called for NATO intervention in Libya just a few months ago. In the crowd there were placards, "Stop the bombing of Afghanistan," after women's rights have been achieved. All our institutions are useless. I'm not saying there aren't well-meaning people involved, but for us to look to them to solve the situation is now redundant. A few countries have voiced opposition to what's happening in Libya. Cuba, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, smaller countries, ALBA countries, they don't have any power to do anything. Even Berlusconi admitted most of the people support Gaddafi, but his hands are tied. Now, I had a comment today that those people that sympathize with Libya should picket the Russian embassy, and I cannot think of a better idea. Lavrov and Putin have both complained about what is going on in Libya. They're the only people, the only country that has spoken out against this. Russia has the power and influence to do something. We must email them, telephone them, picket their embassies. There is no other viable idea that I can think of. Only Russia can put a stop to this. We can go into the ins and outs of why they're not doing anything, but maybe they'll fill the void if us Libyan sympathizers can picket them in any manner possible. But I think that's the best idea. I think that's far superior to picketing any other organization. We can do it by email, by telephone, or if we're going to protest on the streets, protest in front of the Russian embassy. Put an end to this total disaster that is unfolding. It's also a march to the Third World War that is unfolding before our eyes. And it's one tragedy after another for innocent people. It is nothing about two armies battling each other. This is just pure sadistic murder. Thanks to our so-called elected democratic leaders, which is a farce. So may the Arab Spring come to us all, and maybe you'll leave a comment or in some way take this idea farther. I got it from someone who commented, I think it really has to be our focus. Russia. Russia is the only country with the power and the influence to do something in this situation. It can stop the ongoing murder that is never ever going to end. They're not going to stop in Libya. They're going to continue murdering innocent people. And we have been turned into vegetables. We are incapable of fighting for justice. So, you know, it might just come back home, and maybe we'll look in our own societies as well. But in the meantime, the urgency is Libya. Let's beg the Russians to put a stop to it. Their foreign minister, their prime minister have spoken out against it. Putin called it the Crusades, and he said targeting Gaddafi was never in the UN resolution. Medvedev has complained, also said it's not following the UN resolution of a no-fly zone to stop civilians being hurt. NATO is just bombing civilians all the time. So look out where your Russian embassy is. Find the email, find the phone number. Let's hope they can save the day.